Tonight's movie is Stranger Than Fiction. It starts out how all movies should start out, talking about how charming the hero is because he's obsessed with numbers, obsessed with counting everything, and is an IRS auditor, making him the most charming and smoothest man alive. Then he goes to work at the IRS and can do all sorts of fancy math in his head. Meanwhile, I can't do 2 plus 2 without a calculator. The next day he wakes up and he realizes a voice is narrating his life. Now, the voice isn't harmful, it's not telling him to do things, it's just narrating his life. Now, if I had a voice narrating my life, it would be annoying, but I would probably ignore it. He goes kinda crazy. And eventually his buddy gives him an assignment to audit this baker who chose not to pay 22% of her taxes because she doesn't want to pay for the war machine or pay for all that money, all those kickbacks that go to businesses. And then he ogles her, picturing her naked because the voice told him to. Just imagine if the voice told him to kill her, then we'd have a dead baker. Now he gets ready to get on the bus, and the voice tells him, little did he know that his death was imminent. So he goes to a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist tells him he has schizophrenia, which he probably does. And then he says, I do not have schizophrenia. Who else should I talk to? And the psychiatrist is finally like, I don't know, talk to somebody in literature. And take these pills. And he's like, no, I'm not taking pills. Surprisingly, the psychiatrist did not give him a 3-day stay in a loony bin. So he talks to his professor in literature, and he reveals that the voice said, little did he know his death was imminent. And the guy in literature, played by Dustin Hoffman, agrees to help him. First, he starts asking all these weird, random questions. Like, do you have body parts of someone else? Are you a king of anything? Stuff like that. Your magic powers to eliminate various literatures. Then he says you have to figure out if you're in a tragedy or a comedy. In a tragedy, you die at the end, and nobody mourns you, like Macbeth. A comedy, you die at the end, but you fall in love along the way, and people mourn you, like Romeo and Juliet. At least I took Romeo and Juliet to be a comedy. So it goes back to the baker after apologizing to her on the bus for ogling her. And he gets ready to do her taxes, which she has decided to put all her receipts in a giant box and let him sort through it. So after doing that, she tells him to have a cookie, which he says, I don't like cookies. For some reason, she can't take no for an answer, and she says, you have to have a cookie. And then he eats a cookie and dies. No, I'm kidding. So then he eats a cookie, and he likes the cookie. So then he eats a second cookie, and she tells him, take the cookies home. And he says, I can't. That guard says a gift. I gladly purchased them. And then she gets pissed off and throws the cookies at his head. And he's like, you made those cookies just for me. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, yeah. And that's about as smooth as I am with women. So he thinks he's in a tragedy. But then the Professor of literature tells him do nothing. Stay at home, don't answer the phone, don't change the TV channel, piss your pants, wear a diaper, do absolutely nothing. So he does that, and a crane goes through the side of his apartment. The literature dude tells him, accept your fate. And he does not like that answer. So then he learns to play the guitar, moves in with his buddy from the IRS, changes his life for the better, and stops counting every single thing around him. And then brings flour to the girl in the bakery. And then they wrestle in the flour, and it's flour wrestling. It's kind of like mud wrestling, only a lot whiter. And then they make love. So then he goes back to the professor and says, I think I'm in a comedy. But he hears the voice, and it's coming from the TV this time, telling him, accept your fate. It's all part of the master plan. All you have to do is join us. No, wrong movie. This time he's seeing an interview with the lady on the TV whose voice it is. And it's a tragedy writer who always kills the main character. And then he tracks her down thanks to his IRS spy equipment and talks to her, and she gives him the book to read, which he gives to the professor, and the professor tells him, you have to die. So he takes the book and he reads it, and he's okay with dying, which he tells the author. So then he then he does a bunch of good shit before he's about to die, goes to his half demolished apartment, goes to the bus he's about to get on, saves a little boy, and gets hit by a bus. But he survives. And the author brings the new book to the professor, and the professor's like, I don't like the ending. It doesn't fit the book. And she's like, I'm going to rewrite the book. So he survives. He's just really injured. But he's like, I'm fine. I'm alive. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. It's a good movie. It's got a lot of heart. It's got a lot of laughs. Emma Thompson's the author. She's kind of cute in it. She's kind of cute in it in like a messed up, you think she could kill you way. Will Ferrell's the main character. He doesn't do any like zany Will Ferrell stuff. He's kind of taking it seriously. Good, solid movie. It's on Peacock, Tubi, Pluto. Watch Stranger Than Fiction. Join me next week. We will look at Headbanger Macha's singles career in WWE. And we'll be watching the movie Food Fight. The movie that lost more money than any other movie in Hollywood.